Hi and welcome to Tristan Chow, and today I wanted to tell you a little story which I keep hearing the story do its rounds and that, and I'm not saying it's true, but it could be a true story or a creepypasta or an urban legend or a story that's embellished from a book. This legend takes place in Aguascalientes, Mexico. Sorry if I mispronounced that wrong. There was an 8-year-old girl called Alondra, and many described her as God's blessed one, or little angel, because she has a very cheerful character. She helped at home and she was responsible, and her little friends loved her very much. She used to pray before going to sleep because it was something that her parents taught her from a very young age. Everything seemed normal until one day her parents heard the girl's prayers. These prayers would petrify any Catholic family, and the girl mentioned the following words in her prayers: "And please God, take good care of my dad, my mum, my little brothers. They take good care of grandma, and please also take good care of Lucifer. Don't forget about him, because no one asks for him, and I want to ask on his behalf. Amen." This prayer was not something she did once. She did it for several nights, making her parents more and more worried. The discontent was such that one day they decided to invite the priest of the town over to their home to have a look into it. At first, the cleric did not understand the reason for the invitation, because in his eyes she seemed like a pretty sweet girl, and he did not see anything wrong with her behaviour. But the girl's parents asked the priest to stay until the end of the day, which he did, and he was horrified to hear the prayer that she said. It is true that the clergyman was quite disconcerted by what he had just witnessed, but decided to remain calm, because the little girl had always been a little angel with everyone else. He finally told the girl's parents maybe it's not to worry, that perhaps it was just a phase, or she was simply not aware of the gravitas of what she was saying. But from here is where a rather unexpected turn occurs. As time passed and the girl was still saying the same prayers every night. Unfortunately, one day she suffered a tragic accident, and her family, being very poor, could not give her the necessary medical care. The saddest thing also was that her parents did not have enough money to give their daughter a proper funeral, and they cried inconsolably. In the face of misfortune of what was happening, things were going to take a completely unexpected turn, because out of nowhere they heard someone knocking on their door of their house. When they opened the door, they ran into something that seems to have come out of a dream, because right in front of their house they found a majestic funeral procession that looked like something out of a fairy tale, and was being led by 6 beautiful black horses. And there, a few meters away, was a very handsome young man with snow white skin, silky hair, and beautiful eyes that captivated everyone. Alondra's parents could not believe what was happening, because this mysterious young man offered himself to pay for all the expenses of the burial. They agreed to this kind gesture and stopped wondering who he was and why he was doing all of this. The body of the girl was then transferred to the church, where the corresponding ceremony began. The place was full of people, and everyone wondered who this mysterious benefactor was. They saw that even he was crying, as if he too had lost his own daughter. Finally, to everyone's surprise, when they reached the cemetery, the place where they were to put the body was inside a very magnificent tomb made of marble. Alondra's parents could no longer contain themselves and decided to ask him who he was, and who knew their little girl, and how he knew their little girl. After a brief silence, the young man answered, "For thousands of years, the world has labelled me the worst. But she, with her sweetness, with her innocence, she never stopped praying and asking for me, even though she was scolded for doing so." The parents did not finish the words of this young man and immediately asked for his name. The young man smiled, and as he began to walk away, he replied with the following: "You already know my name. You just have to remember your daughter's prayers, because she said, please also take care of Lucifer. Don't forget about him, because nobody asks for him, and I want to do it on his behalf." The stunned parents watched as the young man walked away, never to be seen again. They say that every January the 24th, the grave is decorated with more beautiful roses, and this shows how the pure heart of the little girl was. So, whether it's not as true is another thing, but hey, I'll let you go and find that one out. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching, take care, and be well.